Hello students, today we are going to understand CBSE Class 7 IT chapter Introduction to HTML5. So let's begin. I have the chapter PDF open. We will go over it and try and understand. Okay, so let's start. Understanding HTML5. Here 5 denotes the HTML version. So we will be understanding the 5th version of HTML. So here the 5, which you can see here, this denotes the HTML version, which is the 5th version. Now we all know what a web page is. Like when we open the www.amazon.com, this is the web page, correct? So all the web pages are generally interconnected. Suppose this is one web page. If I click here, another web page opens, right? So there's a link between the web page. So this collection of interconnected web pages, where one web page is interconnected to another web page. So this collection of interconnected web pages is known as World Wide Web, which is www, what we write in front of any address that we give in the URL. So this www is what? It is a collection of interconnected web pages. Clear? Now, each web page is identified by a unique address. Like suppose this is one web page, it is identified by this address, www.amazon.com, https:// this is an address of this web page. Similarly, if I click any other link, you will see I have a different address coming. So each web page is identified by an address which is known as URL, or Uniform Resource Locator. Clear? We will learn about all this more in details in later chapters. Clear? Now, we have understood what is World Wide Web, which is collection of interconnected web pages, correct? Then we have understood what is Uniform Resource Locator, which is the unique address for each web page. Each web page is identified. Each web page is identified by an address called Uniform Resource Locator, or URL. Now coming to HTML. What is HTML, or we call it as Hypertext Markup Language? So all these web pages that we create, we write those web pages in a special language called Hypertext Markup Language, or HTML. So the web pages that you see here, those are being created using Hypertext Markup Language, which is HTML, which we are going to learn in the chapter further. Clear? Now, coming to HTML elements. What is an HTML elements? So HTML elements are the HTML commands that defines the manner in which the web page content should be formatted and displayed. So what is an HTML element? It's a HTML command that defines the manner in which your web page should be displayed and it should be formatted in the browser. Okay, an HTML element comprises of a start tag, some content, and an end tag. Okay, now let me just show you how we write this. Let me open a notepad. I have this written for you. I'll just explain. This entire thing will in the further chapter will explain you the entire format of the structure. But right now, let us understand what are HTML elements. So see, this is one HTML element where this is the start tag, This is the end tag, and we have some content, or you can call this also an HTML element, where this is a start tag, title, this is the end tag, and this is my content in bit. So the start tag always be inside an angular bracket. So the start tag is always inside the angular brackets, and the end tag is also inside the angular bracket, but with a forward slash. Clear? Now see, this is another HTML element, where this is a start tag within the angular bracket. This is the end tag within the angular bracket, but starting with a slash. And this is our content part. Clear? So here, so we have a tag name, we have a content, and then we have an end tag. And this start tag and the end tag both are enclosed in angular brackets. This is the angular bracket, see? And the end tag has a forward slash. Okay, clear? Now, and these tags, remember, these tags are never displayed on the browser. Whatever we give inside this tag, these tags, these are never displayed on your browser. When we run this, I'll show you. When we run this, these tags are never displayed on the browser. Clear? Now, we can have two types of HTML element. Okay, we can have two types of HTML. What are they? So the first one is the container element, and another is the empty elements. Now what are they? What do you mean by container elements? Container elements are the elements that will have a start tag, that will have an end tag. It will have both start tag and an end tag. Okay, so that those elements are called container elements. But we also have certain elements which does not have an end tag. Neither it does have any content. Only the start tag is there. So those elements are called empty elements. Like for example, here if you see, this is a container element, this title, because you have a start tag, you have an end tag, and then you have some content. So this entire element is known as container element. Similarly, your body, this is also a container element because you have a start tag, end tag, and a content. But we have certain elements which does not have an end tag or a content. Like for example, BR. BR is one that we will learn more about BR in the chapter further, but BR does not have an end tag. Similarly, we have one more HTML element like HR. HR also does not have any end tag or a content. So these elements are known as empty elements. Clear? So these are the empty elements. Clear? So container elements and empty element. Container elements will have a start tag, end tag, and some content. And the empty elements will only have the start tag. And remember one more thing, we can use HTML element and HTML tag as interchangeable. They both mean the same. If I say HTML element or I say HTML tag, they both denote the same thing. Clear? Now we move on to HTML attributes. Now what are HTML attributes? Attributes provide additional information about the HTML elements. Okay, so now here if you see this img, this is one of the HTML elements. Okay, now with img in HTML we use to insert any image or picture to your web page. Okay, so now this is my HTML element. Now from where will I get this picture to insert? That path, I have to specify the path. So this is the path that I have specified. Okay, this is my picture name. So this entire stuff is the attribute to the HTML element img. Clear? So here this HTML attribute is providing additional information to this HTML element. From where do I get the picture. And which picture do I need to get? Like for example, I can show you this. Suppose this is our code. I want to insert a picture. Okay, right? So let me just go here. I write img. Okay, then I have to specify from where I want the picture. So src is the source. Okay, equal to. Now within this double bracket, I'll give the path from where I get. Suppose I have a picture here. I'll just open. I have a picture here. Yeah, this is one picture I have. I'll show you. So this is one picture. Suppose I want to insert this. Okay, so I need to find the path of this. So this is my path. I'll copy. Okay, so that's my path. And then you have to provide the file name. So this is pic1, and I'll get the pic1.png. Okay, so here I'll specify pic1.png. Clear? So this, now let me save this. Now I'll try to run this code. Now when I run this code, if you will see there is a picture insert. Don't worry, I'll explain you this entire format, how all this turned up. But for the time being, you just concentrate on this img. Img is here the element, and this entire source, like which picture and from where do I get it, this is my attribute. Clear? So HTML attributes provide additional information about HTML elements. Clear? And it's not necessary. All HTML elements may or may not have attributes. It's not necessary. Like see, these are also an HTML element. I don't have an attribute with this, right? So all HTML element not necessarily have an attribute. Clear? And remember one thing, we always specify the attribute inside the start tag, not the end tag. The attributes are always specified under a start tag. Is it clear? Good. Now moving over to, now see, case sensitive. This is very important, guys. The HTML is a case sensitive language. It's case insensitive language. So sorry. So HTML is a case insensitive language. It's a case insensitive language. What does that mean? Case insensitive language means you can write either in uppercase or in lowercase. It does not matter. Like suppose just now I ran this and I showed you, this picture turned up, right? Now suppose I can write this img in capitals also. I am, maybe G in small, or correct, see, I in capital, M in small, G in small. Now if I save it and I try to rerun this, I just refresh. See, the picture is still there. So that means same with this HTML, instead of small you can write in capital also, or capital small, both combination. This is case insensitive. So HTML language is case insensitive. So you can write in any case, uppercase or lowercase, it does not matter. This is very important. Now we understand the structure of an HTML document. So you have seen I have been writing this code, but now let's understand this structure. So the very first line of your any HTML document will be doc type declaration. This is called document type declaration, which means this line specifies that this is an HTML document. So remember, we need to include this first line in any of your HTML code that you write. So within angular brackets, we give exclamation mark and then doc type. Clear? Now the second is the HTML tag. This HTML tag that I have written, it has a start tag and an end tag. So it is known as, it is a container element. Remember, this is a container element. So the entire code that we have to write, what needs to be displayed in our web page, it has to come within this HTML tag. So everything that you write, it has to be within this HTML Clear? So first is doc type, which is document type declaration. Then we have HTML tag, under which, inside which you write the entire code to design your web page. Clear? Now we have two important elements, which is the head element and we have the body element. Clear? Now this head element, see, this is again a container element because it has a start tag and an end tag. Similarly, body is also a container element. Start tag, end tag. Clear? Now the head tag will include all your title, then the script and all that we write. This everything comes within the head tag. And in the body tag, the visible part of your HTML document, like whatever you want to display on your web page, that we write inside the body. Clear? So inside the body we write whatever we want to display, like all this we can have it inside the body. So whatever you want to display, that comes inside the body. Clear? So head includes your head will include your title, your script and all those stuffs, and your body will include everything which you need to see on your web page. I'll show you slowly, you will get to know how. And see, this all are container elements because they all have an end tag. Clear? Now let me just remove this. Let me show you how it works. See, now when I run this, save it, I'll show you how we run also this documents. Now when this is my code that I've written in Notepad, now when I run it here, now see, I'm running it here. Now if you see here, see, head, and then we have a title also inside the head. This is your browser title actually. Now see, I've written my first HTML page. See, in the browser you will see my first HTML. So whatever you write here, suppose I write only HTML pages, I delete this, I write see, right now it is my first HTML page. I change this to HTML page. I save this again and rerun this, refresh this. See, it changed to HTML page. Did you see that? So whatever you give within the head and the title, within the title, that comes in the browser name. It's a tab name, right? And whatever you give in the body, as I told you, whatever you want to display in your web page, we give inside the body. So see, I gave this. This is my first ever HTML page. So see, this you will get it here. Clear? Now suppose I want to add one more line. I like coding, maybe. Now see, suppose I save it again and I refresh this page. See, this is my first ever page design. I like coding. So whatever you want within the body, we can give it. Clear the structure? So first is your doc type. Then you have the HTML, which is the start and end, and everything comes within this HTML. And under HTML you have a head tag. In the head tag we have the title, which is a web page, the browser tab name, and then you have the body. Clear this structure? So now the structure of an HTML document is clear. Now let's move on. I'll come to this part after I complete this creating and saving HTML document. Okay, about the editors I'll come back. Now how do we create and save an HTML document? It's very simple, guys. I have students, I have been doing this. So what you have to do, we can write our code in a notepad. Okay, so how do you open a notepad? You click on the start button, on the search, write notepad. You will have a notepad open. You will have a new notepad being open for you, correct? So here we can type our code. Remember the structure. First I have to put doc type declaration, correct? And then we have HTML tag. So we have a start tag, and remember, give an end tag together only. Okay, so we have an HTML tag. Okay, now under HTML tag, if you remember the structure, we had head. Give the end tag of head also, and then we had body, correct? Give the end tag also, body. Students, remember, always in a container element, when you write the start tag, make sure you write the end tag together. Okay, otherwise at the end, when you have a very big code, you might forget writing this end tag. So always with the start tag, write the end tag also. Okay, now within head we will have title, so I'll give a tab, and always write to maintain this format, like give a tab and indented format. Like under HTML, don't write head here only. Okay, this will not look good, right? So always under HTML you have head, so always indent it, like give a tab and write it here. Now I have a title under head, so again I'll put a tab, I'll write title. Again, title is a container element, so I'll write the end tag also. Now let's design our, now suppose, now what title you want to give to your web page. Whatever. Title 1 my web page, maybe, correct, right? So this is a title I want to give. I wrote the content. Clear? Now what body you want? Body means what you want to display on this, on the web page, right? Suppose I want to display, so this also, it's better if you write tab, write it like this. It's always look good and it's easy to read also if you indent your code properly, right? Indentation means what I am saying, HTML and then give a tab and write head from here. Under head you have all this, so again indent it. Okay, now body, suppose I want to write I am Priyanka, I study in class 7, I am learning coding. Yeah, so this is what I want to display. Now let me save. So what you have to do, you have to save. So you have opened a notepad, create. So they are asking you what, where and where you want to save it. Okay, clear? So let me open one. Suppose this is a path I want to save. Name your document. Maybe this is my first code. And here it has to have a HTML extension. The file extension has to be HTML or it has to be HTM. Any one you can write, HTML or HTM. And here you select all files. So this is very important, students. You have to save your notepad. This notepad I have to save. Write the name whatever you want. And then you have to give an extension of HTML or HTM. Both are same. Clear? And the save type as all files. Now let me save it. Okay, I have saved my first code.html. Now how do you run this code on the browser? Go to the path. See, this was the path I have specified. Here I have saved. Okay, so see, you see it's a browser already turning up, right? So what you have to do, either you can double click here, it will open. Like see, if I double click here, see, it's open. If you see your code, see, title 1 my web page, and here you have I am Priyanka, I study in class 7, I am learning coding. So see, you got it, right? Either you can directly open like this, or the another way is you open your browser. From here you can search Chrome, suppose Chrome browser. You open your browser. I open one browser. Okay, here you have to give Control O, Control plus O. When you write, it will give you this. So you go and search the path. This is my path. Search the file. Open. So see, it open. Clear, student? So we have, how did we? So see, how did you create it and saved your HTML document, and how did you open? So from the search box in the start menu, we type notepad. Clear? Notepad open, we wrote our HTML code, right? Now you click on save as. Now save. When we clicked on save, we have to save it by the, in any path wherever you want to save, but the extension should be HTML or HTM. Very important. Clear? see HTML or HTML, the extension, and then click on save. So once you save, it has been saved. Clear? Let me delete all this. Okay, so now creating and saving, it's clear, I hope. Now how did we view the code? There are two ways of viewing. One, as I said, you can go to the path where you have saved your document. Here I have saved, you can double click, it will open in the browser, right? Or the second way is, what is the second way? You can open the browser first. See, open Google Chrome and press Ctrl+O. It will open the open dialog box, and there you choose the folder and the file that you want to open, correct? So I went to the path and then I selected whichever I want to open, the file that I've saved, and then click on open. So once you click that, the file will open. Clear? Any doubt? I hope it's clear. Clear? Now let us just quickly understand this check. Snap check. We'll do this snap check very quickly. This is very simple, guys. Dash is a collection of interconnected web page identifier by an address called URL. What is it? www or World Wide Web. Very right. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Dash is an HTML command that defines the manner in which the content should be formatted and displayed in the browser. It is, think. It is the HTML elements, right? HTML element is the command that defines the manner in which the content should be formatted and displayed. Now the number 4, the dash element is used to define the visible part of the HTML document. Which document? Which element? See, you have all the elements here. Which element is used to define the visible part? Body, correct? Body is used to, correct? Body is used to define the visible part of the HTML document that is displayed. Now the dash element have a starting as well as an ending tag. Which elements? This we have done so many times. Container elements. Clear? Okay, students. Now let's try to understand some of the different HTML elements which are very useful when we design our web page. Now the first that we try to understand is our brick, BR. Now see, did you notice one here? I wrote I am Priyanka and then I gave an enter and I wrote I study in class 7, I am learning coding. Yeah? But when we view this in the browser, you see I study in class 7, I am learning code. This did not come in another separate line, right? It all came in one line. Clear? Because in an HTML document, the enter that we have pressed, that is not recognized as a line break. So we have to specifically write a line break here. So that we do with BR. This, and this is an empty element, students. We don't have an end tag for this. So when you write BR, BR means computer or this HTML code understands they have to put a blank line here. They have to start the the next line from another line. Okay, now suppose I rerun this. You see, did you see? Did you see it gave a 9. Now suppose if I write 2 breaks here, BR again, then you will see one more line will come up here. Save, I rerun this, see one more line turned up. Clear? So this BR means it will write in another line. Now suppose here also if I give a BR in middle. Clear? Now if I save it, you will see it will write this together and then give a break. And this will start from another line. Now see if I read it. Just check. Clear? So BR, very simple. It shifts the text to the next line. So basically it shifts this text. So whatever text you give after BR, it's shifted to the next line. Clear? Now we understand the paragraph element. Okay, so we have understood the BR. So BR, the text following BR will come in the next line. Now we'll try and understand the paragraph. Now suppose I write something. My name is Rahul. I study in class 7. I love computer science. My favorite teacher is Mr. Pal. I love going to school. Suppose I gave this, right? Now here I save it. Now when I try to view this in a browser, how will it come? Let me show you. See. Just match your code. So I am Priyanka. I got 2 line breaks. Then I study in class, again 1 line break. Then I am learning coding. Then I did not give any line break. This was the enter. So enter is not recognized. So this entire thing came in single line. Now suppose I want to make this a paragraph. Okay, this entire thing I want in a paragraph form. So what I have to write? I have to write P. And remember, P, this paragraph element is a container element. So that means we need to have an end tag. So /P. Now I want this entire things to be in a paragraph format. Now I save it. Now see how it's split. Did you see how did it turn up? See. Did you get it? So when you write anything within this P element, that is being treated as a paragraph, it always starts the paragraph in a new line. Okay, and it leaves some spaces before and after this. Okay, now suppose if I write anything here, I learned paragraph element. Okay, clear? So I learned paragraph element. Now if I save it, you see how it will turn up. See, did you see? This entire thing came in a paragraph. So it always starts the paragraph in a new line. See, I did not give any BR here, but still it started in a new line. Clear? And it always leave a space before and after this. Let me just remove this space. It will be easier to understand. Save. Now see, when I learn, still the same, right? So the paragraph always starts the paragraph in a new line. See, I did not give a BR here, but still it started here, correct? So it started in a new line and it gives a space before and after this. Clear? So I hope the paragraph is now clear, right? So let me just quickly revise what we did. So the structure, we know it's a doc type. The first line, then we have everything, whatever you write, it has to be within the HTML tag. Clear? And then we have something called, then we have head, then we have body. Inside head we have the title, which is your browser tab name, correct? And inside the body we can write whatever we want to display on our web page. Clear? Now here in body I wrote I am Priyanka. I gave 2 break, that means after break it leaves a line, and another break means another line left. Clear? Then I study in class 7, then again a break was there, so the text following this will come in another line. Clear? Then I did not give any break, but since it started a paragraph, so it will start from a new line, plus it will give an empty line before and after the paragraph. So this line and this line is the empty line that it gave. And then I learned paragraph element turned up here. Clear? So till here I think it's very clear. Now we move over to the heading elements. What are heading elements? We have total of 6 heading elements. Okay, so here, so we have total of 6 heading element, H1 to H6. H1 defines most important heading, which will come in much more larger size, and H6 define the least heading. So H1 is the most important heading, H6 is the least important heading. Now from code, let us see how it comes. Okay, so let's open our code. So this is our code. So suppose I want this, I learned paragraph element, or maybe I'll write one. Now remember, this heading elements are all container elements. That means it should have a start tag and an end tag. Clear? So within H1, suppose I write I am learning heading element. Okay, now let me save this and see how it turns up. Okay, before that, let me remove these lines. Okay, now let me just refresh, see how did it turn up. I am learning header element. Okay, now see, it turned up in a bold and a larger font, right? And one more thing, if you have noticed, they give us space. I just remove this space. Let me save it and let me read it. See, it gave a one complete new line here. So similar to paragraph, since paragraph also starts with a new line, and it same way header also starts in a new line and give a one line empty before that. Clear? Now let me use H2. Now see, I'll write H2. The same thing I'll write in H2, and you will try to figure out the difference. Let me save. So you have to save it and you have to refresh it. See. Did you see? It is in bold, but the font is a little less, right? This is a larger font. This is a little less one. Correct? And remember and see, same as your paragraph, since the way paragraph starts in a new line, right? And it leaves a line before and after that. Similarly, header, this heading elements also starts in a new line and leave a line before and after that. Clear? Now let us use the same thing for all the 6 and see the difference. Now let me just change this, make it H3. This is H4 header, this is H5 header, this is H6 header. Similarly, I'll change it here also. H3, H4, H5 and H6. Let me save it. Now let me refresh. Now did you see how it turned up? See? So H1, as I said, it is the most important heading, and H6 is the least important. So you see, all these are in bold font, but the font, the size of the font is reducing. Can you just see? Clear? And it always starts in a new line and it leaves a space before and after also. I hope this is clear. Good. Now we'll try and understand horizontal rule element, which is a very, very simple element. So let's code it. So horizontal rule element is used to give a horizontal line in your code. Okay, so let's try to write it. So it displays a horizontal line or a break, you can say. So when you want to separate two content, we just put this up. Okay. Now suppose here I want to add a after. Now let me just show you the code. So this is how it was coming. So maybe suppose I am learning coding. After this I want a horizontal line. Okay, so I am learning coding and I want a horizontal line here. Okay, so I'll just put HR, nothing else, just HR, and this is an empty HTML element because it does not have an end tag. So let me save it. Now try to read it. So did you get? I got a line. Okay, so basically horizontal element. So this horizontal rule element is just to insert a horizontal line. I mean, when you want to have a break. So suppose here you have HR written. So wherever they give an HR, you have a line coming. Clear? Now we come to HTML formatting elements. What are these? Now when you are displaying something on your web page, you might require some text to be in bold, some in italic, some in underline, right? So this kind of formatting that you want to do, we use all these elements. So what are these elements? Very simple. So suppose I want this learning to be underlined. Okay, so here you have view. So these are all container elements. I'll just put this within view. So whichever word or letter you want to be specified, suppose I want learning to be underlined. So I'll just put learning within this start tag and end tag of you. You specify here the underline. So now suppose let me save it and let me rerun. Now did you see that? So I have, see in the second header I have learning underline. Clear? Now suppose here I want Rahul to be bold. In a bold it should be displayed. So just before Rahul I'll write B and I have an end tag. These are all container elements. So /B. So whatever is within this Rahul, within this will come in bold. Now let me save it and rerun this. Now see, Rahul is in bold. Clear? Now suppose my end tag, if I put the end tag not here, suppose I put the end tag in after in. So what do you all think? What should be bold? Correct. This entire thing will be bold. Whatever is been placed within the start and the end tag of B elements, that will come in bold. Now save. Now see. I say see. Rahul I study in, that turned up in bold. Clear? So we saw bold, we saw underline. Now we have something called italic also. Now you want to display something in italic. Like suppose I want this learning to be displayed in italic. Maybe M learning in italic. Okay. So just before this, I'll put I. Very simple to learn, right? Underline U, bold B, and italic I. So but remember, these are all container elements. So you need to have an end tag also. So from the start tag to the end tag, whatever be in the middle, that will come accordingly. Okay. Now let me save it. Now see when I do. Now did you see am learning? It's coming in italic. Clear? So we saw bold B, we saw italic, we saw underline. Now we have something called subscript and superscript. Sometimes we write now to the power, like suppose I am in class 7th, TH. Suppose if I write TH here, how will it come? Save. If I read and see. Okay, yeah. Now see, this 7th has turned up, correct? Now I want this TH to be at the top, correct? I want this to be superscript at the top. Okay, so for that we use SUP. So just before this TH, SUP. Again, as I said, these are all container elements. So you will have a end tag. So see, so this TH only I wrote in superscript. Okay. Now when I save it, let me rerun it. See, this TH came in superscript. Clear, guys? If that is very not clear, let me write it here. I am writing 8th. I am writing 8th. Okay, or maybe first stanza, or maybe second stanza, correct? Let me save it. Now if I rerun, you see first and second came like this, right? But I want first to be at the coming at the first superscript. So I'll write sup here. And then closing tag, very important, it's a container element. Now let me save it. Now see rerun, see first has come in superscript. Similarly, you can do with second also, ND. So whatever you want, that needs to be within that tag element. Okay, now see ND only I want, so ND I see. Now let me rerun, see. Clear? Now this is superscript. Similarly, we have super means at the top we have subscript also. We have subscript also where when it comes at the below, right? Now suppose here instead of super I just write sub here. See how will it change. Let me see. See, it will come below. Clear? So we have learned what are the different formatting elements. We have learned bold. Clear? Then we have learned underline. These are all container elements, students, please note. Then italic, again a container element. Then subscript, which will come at the below, right? So this is subscript, and then we have learned superscript. Clear? Super. I can just, maybe your name, I can show you how it will come. Yes, within this, whatever you write, that will come that way. Correct? Here, let me write one line before this also so that you understand. Otherwise, it will be tough. Now, save. Let me. Now, did you see? I did not give a BR, so it did not come in another line. Let us give a BR so that it's easier for us to understand also. Save. Now, see you. Did you see? This Rahul first was bold, then underline, italic, then T because I wrote T before, right? So T, and then this is coming as subscript, and this is a superscript. Clear? I hope the formatting part is clear. Good. Now let's move on to HTML comments and nesting of elements, the last two topics. Now what are HTML comments? So this, see, suppose when you are writing HTML code, it's a huge code that we are writing, right? Somewhere we have to write some explanatory statements that will help us to understand our code better, right? And those comments are not visible in our web page. Remember this, guys. These are not visible in the browser. It is just for our own understanding, which will help us in the later stages. Now suppose here I have made Rahul as bold, right? So I can add a comment maybe, right? Comment, how does it start? So it starts with an angular bracket. So you have an angular bracket, and then inside that exclamation mark, dash dash, and then you write your comment. Okay. This will make text in bold, and then again you have to write dash dash and angular bracket. So this is the way we write a comment. So what is the format of writing comment? First angular bracket, inside angular bracket you have a semicolon, exclamation mark, and then two dashes. You write your comment, whatever you want to write, then two dashes. Okay. So this is the format of writing the comment, and this comment will not be visible in your browser or the web page. Let me just save and show it to you. I have saved it. Now let me open our code. Now suppose I rerun. See, I'm running. Did you see when I'm rerunning? This what I have written, it's not been visible here. It is not. So whatever comment you write, it's the format I told you, within angular brackets, exclamation marks, dash dash, and also dash dash, and here any comment. So that will not be visible in your web page. Clear? Now another topic is nesting of elements. This already, when we were writing the code, we already did the nesting. Now see here also, if you see the head also, here also we have nesting. Nesting is means we can place an HTML element within other HTML element. Like see, head is one HTML element, right? Within head we have title coming up, right? So this is called nesting of element. Clear? Or suppose here also we have done a nesting of elements. See, H2 was one element, correct? Within H2 I have made underline. So this is another nesting of elements. Nesting of element is when you place an HTML element within other HTML element. Okay, but remember one thing, when the elements are nested, we must end or close the tags in the opposite order in which it is open. Now see, here H2 is open first, then underline is open, correct? But when you are closing, it has to be in the opposite manner. So I have to close underline first and then H2 first. So when you are nesting the elements, we must end or close the tags in the opposite order in which they are open. Like see here, H2 open first, then underline open, correct? But when you are closing, underline has to close first and then H2 has to close. And this is very understandable, right? Because you are nesting, right? Within this, like see here also, head open first, then title open. But then you have to close the title first, then head first. Clear, right? Good. Okay students, so this was the end of the chapter, but I just missed 2 or 3 small topics, so let me just cover that. Yeah, so here HTML, dynamic HTML. What is dynamic HTML? This is a collection of technologies used together to create interactive and animated website by using a combination of HTML, JavaScript, CSS and document. So it's a collection of technologies used together to create interactive and animated websites. Like any website you see, it's not just like it's not the way we have created, right? It's not this simpler coming, right? If you have seen Amazon also, what I showed right now, you have a lot of pictures, animations, a lot of other things that turn up in that web page, right? So using this dynamic HTML, we can write those kind of web pages which are very interactive and animated, right? So for that we use different technologies, right? Like HTML, that is what we have been using right now. CSS you will be using, you have it in your class 7 also. In later chapters you will have the CSS. Then we have JavaScript and this DOM, which is document object model. So using all this 4, we can create much more robust web pages. Clear? So this was dynamic HTML. Now what else did we miss is, okay, Tim Berners. Now Tim Berners-Lee was the primary author of HTML. Tim Berners-Lee was the primary author of HTML. He was assisted or helped by his colleagues at CERN. And what is CERN? It is an international scientific organization which is based in Geneva, Switzerland. Okay. So who was the primary author of HTML? It was Tim Berners-Lee. Okay. He was helped by a lot of his colleagues at CERN. And CERN is what? It is an international scientific organization which is in Geneva, Switzerland. Clear? So now what other topic did we miss is, let me just move on. One was the different types of editors we have. We have 2 types of editors, okay, for HTML. Okay, we have 2 types of HTML. So one editor you already saw, it was a notepad that we have been using, right? The notepad that we are using now. So that is one HTML editor. Okay, Notepad or the WordPad, these are one. See, the text editor such as Notepad or the WordPad, okay, which we have been using, right? So this is one of the text editors for HTML. This is one of the HTML editor. Another HTML editor is WYSIWYG. What does this mean? What you see is what you get. Okay, so this editors provide built-in interface. What you see is what you get. It provides you built-in interface wherein you can quickly design the web pages. You don't have to write the entire HTML code, right? For example, like you have used Scratch in your previous classes, right? You already had certain interactive boxes and all which you can use and write the code. You don't have to write the code, you just need to drag and drop, right? Similarly, for HTML also we have this. What you see is what you get, where you don't have to write the HTML code and tags and all everything. Okay, it's a built-in feature interface where like Scratch. Okay, so the example of this is, one is Google Web Designer, another is Adobe Dreamweaver. Clear? So with this, our entire chapter clears. Students, let's try to solve one or two questions from your book. So we are going to solve this first. We are going to design this first web page one according to whatever has been given here. Clear? So let's start. And how do we do? Let's see. Okay. So for that, first we need a notepad. So let's open a notepad. Let me start a new one. What's this? Okay, so you remember the first thing that we have to put is doc type with an exclamation mark, correct? Then we have HTML, because everything that we write we have to have it within HTML. So I put the closing tag also, right? Now under HTML we have two important things, head and a body. So I give a tab indented, as I said we should write head, closing tag, head, correct? And then we have a body, correct? So before you start writing your HTML code, make sure this structure you always write. Okay, now inside head we have title, right? Now see here it's written the title of the page should be dance, correct? So let us write title and we give a closing tag, correct? Don't forget. And then we have dance, they are saying, correct? So let's write dance, correct? Let us save this. Okay, so let me save it as web page 1, and remember .html or htm we have to write. No, do not forget this, very important extension. Save it. I saved it. Now how do we open it? Open the browser, Control O. It will ask you. So here I have saved web page 1, open. Clear? See, I got my title as dance here. Clear? So till here it's clear. Now let us see what was the second. The heading Nitya Academy should be of level 1. Level 1 means it should be H1 heading, remember? So let's move to the body, because now we have to write within body, not within head, right? All the visible part has to come within the body, right? So body, we want this tab again, H1, give a closing tag H1. Now within this, we have to write Nitya Academy, correct? See, it should be of level 1, the heading, clear? Now let me save it and rerun how it turns up. Nitya Academy level 1. Clear? Now what is the third one? Third one, what they're writing, let us try to see that. Okay. The subheading Indian Classical Dance School should appear italic, see, and of level 3 heading. Level 3 means H3. So first we have to write here H3, Give a closing always with the start tag so that you don't forget. So what we have to write? Indian Classical Dance School. Correct? Now this entire thing needs to be in italic as well. It's written, right? So here we have to nest it. It has to be level 3, so we gave H3. Now this has to be in italic also. So how do we nest? I have to put it here. I. This entire thing should be within I. Sorry. Yeah. Clear? So starting and ending I given, and this entire thing will be in italic. Now let me save. Now let's see how it comes here. Clear? It's coming this way. Now see. Now what is number 4? The horizontal rule to be used. Horizontal rule to be used to separate the headings from the content. So we have a content. Now we have to use a horizontal rule to separate. Horizontal rule means, you know, remember, it will give a line, right? So just after this we have to use HR. Here HR was, remember, and this is an empty element. You don't have an end tag. Save it. Rerun. See, I got it. Now I can have whatever content I want. Here a lot of content is given. You can put this or maybe I just write content. Let's see. Save it and now rerun. Oh, I'm so sorry. I gave it within the angular brackets. Yeah. Content. Save. Now if you rerun, see, you will have content coming. Whatever content now you want, you can write it. Clear? So this web page 1 design is clear. It's very simple. Nothing, right? So we use nesting also here. We use the headers, heading elements, level 1 and level 3. Then we use this horizontal rule. Clear? Okay students, so let's try and solve one more example. So we'll do this project work. Okay, so let us quickly open a notepad. In the notepad, let me open a new notepad. Okay, so this is a notepad. So the structure, you know, we have doc type, then we have HTML, the closing tag. Remember, with the opening give the closing tag. Under HTML you have head, the closing tag, very important. Then you have the body, yeah, and under head you have titles. See the indentation that I am following. It's very important, students. You can write it without indentation, but it's always better because it makes your code readable. Now the title should be Indian food. So Indian food. Okay, so let us save it. Okay, so maybe I name it as my first project, my first HTML project, maybe, right? Project dot HTML. Remember, it's very important. Files. Here, let me save it. Okay, now we have to open it. Open the browser. Control O. My first HTML project. Open. Now see, Indian food has turned up as a title. Clear? Now after title, what we need to do, we have to see here the heading, the Great Indian Restaurant, should be of level 1. So heading, so whatever now displayed on the web page, it should come within body. So it should be level 1. So we'll use H1. Very good. The Great Indian Restaurant. Okay, so you have a closing tag. So this is H1. Now let me just save it and rerun in our browser. So we got it. Clear? Now the subheading widget us. Now see, let us just see here. So we have this Great Indian. Now we need this horizontal line. So how do we get this horizontal line? HR. Very nice. HR is an empty element, so you don't have an end tag. Save it. Rerun in your browser. You got it right. Clear? Now We have visitors for the mouth-watering dishes. This is level 2. So now we have visitors for mouth-watering in level 2, right? Heading. So it will be H2. Very good. H2, I'll write visit us for mouth-watering dishes. Clear? Now we have a closing H2. Now let's save and see how it turns out. Save. Now in our browser. Yes, we got it. Clear? Now after this we have another line. So let's put a line here, which is HR. Clear? Save it. Run it in your browser. We got a line again, right? Now after line, now see, the cuisine list should be bold and underlined. So we have all this written. You can have it right. I'm not writing. We can write just one line I'm writing. This is in paragraph. You can see this entire thing is in paragraph. So better we start a paragraph and write, we are one of the best dining restaurants in Delhi. Right? Here the traditional, I think, something. Traditional cuisines are fine. I'm not writing all this, a lot of things. Lot of things under a paragraph. Correct? I have closing paragraph, right? Yeah, then we have the cuisine list. You can write it here. The cuisine list is as follows. Correct? After, now let's save it. Now let's see it in our this. See, this is turning up as a paragraph. Now we want to display the list of cuisine, but this all should be underlined. Correct? So in another line, let's write here 1 dot Mughlai, I think. So this should be underlined. Correct? Very important. Should be U. Clear? Then the second cuisine will again be underlined, South Indian. Right? Now let's save and see how it turns out. See, there is no break coming up, so we have to, what do we need to give? We want a break. It needs to be coming in the next line, right? So we have to give a BR after this, correct? Now let's save and see how it turns out. See, it turned up in the next line. Correct? So it should be 2 dot South Indian, correct? Same. So see, right? So in this way we can add other, like Punjabi is one. So but again you need a BR here so that it comes in next line, and then with underline you can have it, right? Underline 3 dot Punjabi. Okay. Save it. You can just run it and see Punjabi. Okay. Like this you can go on adding all this. Now see this horizontal, now again you can write this Great Taste Restaurant, right? So that you give a BR here, and then we can write Great Taste Restaurant, correct? And after that, and dot whatever you can write. I'm not writing everything. And then we have a HR here, right? They wanted an HR at the end. Save. Now when I run it, see, does it come that way? Yes, see, Great Taste Restaurant. See, after Punjabi you can give one line here. There's an empty line. So how do we give this empty line? I just gave one BR. One BR means in the next line it will come. If I give one more BR, it will give an empty line. Correct? Save it. If I run it, see, give one more. Clear? So I hope this chapter is now very, very clear to you, right? Thank you all. Thank you.